What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic coming to you on the Stochastic YouTube channel. Another edition of PGA Tour Reignmakers over at DraftKings. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a great long way for me here on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. If this is your first time ever clicking on this video, well, welcome. Fantastic stuff that we have going here, talking NFTs, meeting DFS, they combine in the middle, and that creates PGA Tour Reignmakers. You can get a free pack in the video description box below. Yes, just like your old trading pack days of yore when you were a kid. If you were like me, I had a million trading cards. Need to start trading in some Kobe Bryant rookies. Those are valuable right now, but yeah, we'll wait for a rainy day to trade those in. But either way, we've got trading cards that you're able to get here for the PGA Tour event this weekend. We're talking the Memorial. We're talking Muirfield Village, long golf course, water on 18 holes. Well, actually, no, there's 7 tee shots that end up having water, 11 approach shots that have water that come into play. It is crazy. I know I hit it in the water. A little bit of Family Guy for people involved, but simply get your starter pack and start it off with either Scotty Scheffler or Jon Rahm because they, friends, are expensive. We also at Stochastic have these free projections going for you. Yes, free Reignmakers projections over at Stochastic.com. Simply go up to that PGA tab, go to the DraftKings Reignmakers PGA Tour projections. It'll take you to this lovely page where we also have UFC Reignmaker projections. But then you see Scotty Scheffler, Jon Rahm. I mean, they've been 1-2. They're just so ridiculous. And I don't even really think we need to talk about them in any context. But on this video, I like to build through a lineup or two in the single entry. And then in the large field contest, hey, Eric, I don't have Scotty Scheffler or Jon Rahm, and I don't want to pay $40 to get either of them. How can I build a good lineup? Well, friends, Scotty Scheffler has been the bane of my existence the last couple. It was nice to have the Rahm-Finau combination of the Mexico Open. Almost won the single entry there. Those are fun things. Had just a fantastic week there as well. Wyndham Clark, my God, then just goes out and wins, and Scotty Scheffler just exists. So we're going to go into the single entry contest here for the core. I'm going to build out my rare. I do have a rare lineup. Do I want to share it with the people, the single entry one? No, we're going to go up here top. This is the one that I know a lot of people are looking at playing week in, week out, and want to talk about the pricing, how it kind of works. And, well, Jon Rahm, his cores have actually taken a little bit of a dip. It was sitting around $40 early on. I guess people are unloading these cards in this event because it's less of a guarantee that Scotty Scheffler is just going to finish in the top 3, top 5 every time. He has not finished outside of the top 12 in an event since the first event, the CJ Cup this season. And, well, that's stupid when you're talking about golf. But Muirfield Village, tough little track. However, there's one card that we are going to absolutely buy today because I don't have it in the collection. And, well, we are buying Patrick Cantlay here. That is absolutely going to be happening. You're going to want to... Actually, I could probably wait a little bit. We've seen the price come down now on Jon Rahm, on Scotty Scheffler. I think that's gonna work out nicely. So we're just going to start off doing the very obvious boring thing and putting Jon Rahm here in our single entry captain spot. And, again, if you're looking to start off your cards, I mean, the fact that he's now less than $5 cheaper than Scheffler, that's a little surprising to me. I mean, they both have infinity top 10s. They both play all of the golf tournaments and all the land. Jon Rahm, click. Victor Hovland, he's been a guy that we've relied on multiple times here. Had some nice finishes. Fell apart last weekend at the Colonial coming down the stretch. Finished like 4 over his last 4 and made me mad. But either way, we're going to click on him and have him in our single entry lineup this week as well. Again, Patrick Cantlay is going to be one of my favorites to get to for single entry here in Reignmakers purposes. So we're going to definitely be doing that here as well. But I want to highlight Justin Thomas here and Colin Morikawa because these prices have come way down. And this is what I'm talking about, where you want to, if you haven't signed up for that starter pack, you can get that below. You want to be getting access to these guys because they are literally less than they're less than a third of what Jon Rahm and Scotty Scheffler cost right now. And, well, we're getting into 2 more majors that we have coming up this season. They're both going to be guys who are going to make it at the FedEx Cup playoffs. I find it impossible that either one of them aren't going to be in the top 30 playing at East Lake. And the reason that I'm highlighting that is that we want to schedule out our players well in advance. We want to be seeing, hey, what are their prices relative to other players that don't have those kind of guarantees? Now, you have a guy like Hideki. I think Hideki's sitting on the outside looking in it. I mean, this is a golf course that sets up nicely for him. Again, ball striking, long. Everybody's got to try to make putts here at this place, and it's hilly and it's wild. And I don't know, Muirfield Village is a great track, but very difficult. Hideki, it sets up like an Augusta National. That was the whole idea for Jack Nicklaus putting this place together. But we're looking at Hideki there with $8.08. Well, if he doesn't start playing a little bit better, that top 30 is still on the outside looking in. And Justin Thomas, as bad as he's been this season, he's going to play every event. Hideki has injuries, has other things that are involved with him. So for just $2, almost $3, it's just not enough of a gap between him and Hideki there for me. So $10.77 fired up. And then Colin Morikawa went back to the saw at the PGA Championship. Saw, claw, call it what you will. I did kind of the same thing, talk through that on the PGA DFS show. The first look it was. You can find that here at Stokastic as well. But Colin Morikawa, some of his prices have come way down, especially in the rare. And this is where I think if you're looking at starting a rare lineup midway through the season, again, you're losing some of the value because you haven't been able to have those cards been utilized in the last couple. It's probably a good thing because, again, Colin Morikawa hasn't exactly been jumping up to the top of the old leaderboards here of late. So the fact that we're getting him at this discount shouldn't come as a surprise. And, well, if you didn't play him in any of these other tournaments, you weren't really missing out. I mean, 10th, 13th, a couple of missed cuts. So, I mean, there have been some decent finishes. But since the beginning of the season where he came out of the gate hot, it has not been an enjoyable experience for him here. Hopefully that putter can start figuring itself out here. Hopefully this saw starts paying off as well. Tom Kim, I'm not going to necessarily be on him, but you have cards. You're going to play the cards. I'm definitely going to be playing him maybe in some large field stuff, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But Justin Thomas, wanted to highlight him. He's going to be in the single entry lineup as well this week. A golf course that, hey, he was in a playoff with Colin Morikawa when this was the workday. They played back-to-back events back in 2021, or was it 2020? So one of the two. Just know they played back-to-back events at Muirfield, set it up way harder for the Memorial. That was an interesting, fun situation. But I'm kind of torn on Jason Day here and what I want to do, mainly because he is a hometown guy here. I know he's Australian, so it is what it is. But he lives in Ohio. That's where his wife's from. If you remember the infamous LeBron James tackling into his wife incident where Jason Day gets out of the way. Hey, man, you're the one making all the cash for the fam there. You're Jason Day. You're pretty important to stay safe. But who cares? You still block LeBron James from hitting your wife, bro. Like, that's still, I don't know. I don't know why we're getting into that. We're talking about him as a golfer. And as a golfer, he's been very good with this win that we ended up finding for him in Texas. That was fun. Nice to see him back in the winner's circle. A little bit different circumstances where you go out and shoot 23 under to win an event. This will not be 23 under to win this event. If it is, I will eat my words and be happy with it. But I think he's a very highly variant golfer. You can see it. He didn't play practice rounds at the PGA. He didn't make the cut. Week before, didn't make the cut at the Wells Fargo. Just trust me, those are the two tournaments, even though it doesn't say the tournaments. But Corey Connors, this dude, oh boy. Augusta National kind of being a comp for this golf course to a certain extent makes a lot of sense. And, well, nobody's had more success at Augusta over year in, year out over the last 4 years than Corey Connors. Now, this year, he missed the cut, so of course that sounds stupid. But coming into that, three consecutive top tens. Corey Connors is set up well for this golf course. Ball striking extraordinaire. Can get hot with the putter from time to time. That's kind of what you're looking at here. And, well, he's definitely a buy. And to round out my single entry lineup, hey, Tom Hoagie came out of the gate hot for us and then fell apart. Thanks for coming last week. Hate you. I thought about KH Lee. Again, you can go best available here. Thigala, he is definitely getting some popularity, but even that, I don't think I would necessarily want to be going for my single entry. Thought about clicking on KH Lee for the people because, well, that's good for the brand. And Sam Burns, I'm a sick person, and we'll continue to play him till the cows come home. You know what? Actually, we're just going to do this. We're going to click on the Thigala situation. He's going to be popular in DFS this week, but we're talking Reignmakers, and this is one of the great benefits you have of playing Reignmakers in addition to playing over DFS and playing Reignmakers, playing both of them in conjunction. Thigala is going to be very popular in the DFS streets. And, well, if you have his cards, you're absolutely going to be playing him. But in a single entry sense, because he's not one of the core cards you start your packs off with, I think we're going to be running into a situation where Thigala does not get to the same amount of ownership that he will have of DF contests this week. He has a ton, 7 top 10s now so far in this PGA Tour season. He has a 5th here last season where he was just putting on a ball striking clinic. I feel pretty confident that this will be an underutilized piece for the single entry contest. And hey, got him in a prize set. Yay, go me, woo. All right, so we're going to submit. That's my single entry lineup for the week. That's going to be fun to track and keep track of. But let's get ourselves to the large field event. And this is where I know everybody wants to tune in and try to figure out, Eric, who are the cheapies that you're going to be putting together? Well, here we go. Let's start with Viktor Hovland, Jason Day. We'll click on a couple of the normal characters. And now I'm going to give you an expensive target. I'm going to give you a mid-range target. And I'm going to give you a cheap target that I'm in love with this week. Now, I did the DK Reignmakers live show with Greg Ehrenberg. You can go back and watch that as well. Talked a little bit about Wyndham Clark. Think that that's a decent enough spot for him as well. But in this mid-range, if you will, I'm going to say, not Hideki. Just basically want to look at this mid-range being K.H. Lee and Keegan Bradley. They're right next to each other. And Keegan Bradley is going to be a buy for me this week. This is absolutely going to be somebody. Let me see where his cores are. See, 579. We're just going to get this now. Confirm. Keegan Bradley, I'm going to call them mid-range guys because, again, the expensive ones, if you're playing best available lineups, buy Patrick Cantlay. I'm going to wait for those to come down. Xander Schauffele, not my favorite guy, but again, I'm not going to be buying him this week. Rory McIlroy under $20. That's wild. So those are your expensive targets. But if you're looking at starting out or rounding out a lineup that already has some expensive guys and you don't want to be spending $20, I think this mid-range is really, really lush with options. And it's specifically Keegan Bradley and KH Lee. I can't tell you enough how well this golf course, I think, sets up for KH Lee. We've talked about him at the Masters, talked about him a top 30 at the PGA there. Last week, Colonial, a little bit different situation, and also just a bad weekend. Looked really, really nice. Just like all my golfers, Tom Hoge, KH Lee, everybody looked great going into the weekend, and everybody fell apart. Viktor Hovland, it was frustrating. But between Keegan Bradley and him, this is just a ball striking situation where I want to be invested in both of them going forward. I think they're also both backdoor candidates for that top 30 getting to East Lake, where I want to have all the cards and all the land live. That is what I'm really targeting. And, well, throughout the FedEx Cup playoffs, get a lot of opportunity to utilize these guys. So there you go. Keegan Bradley, KH Lee, $4. And what was Keegan at again? It's a little bit more expensive, and I just bought the one there. So now it's not $5.79, $6. $6 it's sitting at there. I think that's a great buy for everybody involved. So do that. We're going to make our way downtown, walking fast, faces past. I'm homebound here. I got to get my MLB lineups in too. All right, we got lots of things to do here. And this is Griot coming off of a win. Don't need to be chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. But I'm looking at some cheapies, and there are lots of them on this board that are pretty interesting to me. But Shane Lowry is going to be another buy for me here in that mid-range. I'll call him mid-range. I'll call Keegan Bradley at $6, your expensive guy that I was looking at here. But Shane Lowry, it has not been very good in the old results department, that's for sure. But we have a pulse. Everybody was, hey, it's going to be bad weather out there at Oak Hill. And boy, he came through, 280. Well, even par. Well, even par for everybody's enjoyment. I think Shane Lowry is just a buy. You're going to want to be invested in him coming into the winter. Well, not into the winter, into the summer, the opposite. It's weird how my brain was working like I'm in Australia, but it is what it is. Shane Lowry, definitely going to be somebody that you want to be invested in as well going forward. I don't know where Keegan Bradley went. H. Lee, we're going to be placing him in here, but this is the cheapie du jour. I think I've talked about him on every single one of these, and I bought a couple already. Sepp Straka. I'm telling you, this is just wild to me because, well, we got this. Played awesome at the PGA. Got this at the Charles Schwab last week. Colonial, T29. This card has already paid for itself multiple times over just by being in lineups that, well, played him in single entry last week. I'm a sick person. But Sepp Straka, now up to $2.50. I keep highlighting him, and that number has gone from $1.50 or $1.25 to $1.75. And I could sell him now for a profit, all three of those, $5 profit or something. But obviously, I'm going to be playing him in a lot of lineups. And, well, he's just such an easy buy, something to absolutely be thrown in. We've got Sepp Straka. It is, oh, baby. Such an easy play for this week. If you go down the line here as well, lots of other pieces don't need to play Austin Eckroat, even though, well, oh boy, it's an expensive card now at this point in time. Aaron Rye, late addition to the field, ended up buying a couple of those for $1. That was an enjoyable poach, getting on a couple of those for $1. But Aaron Rye, definitely going to be another piece that you can throw into the mix. But lots of cheapies that you could find at the top of this leaderboard. Of course, play your best available cards in single entry. That's never an issue. You want to be playing the Rom Schefflers. You don't need to be going to Sepp Straka this week. Last week was a little bit different. I thought it made sense to have one or two pieces that could jump to the top. I mean, look at the playoff. Emiliano Grillo, Adam Schenk. Don't think they were on a lot of single entry boards, of course. Scotty Scheffler. Can you not top 10 this week? I'm sick of fading you. Okay, that's all I have. Guys, that does it for me. That is your PGA Tour Reignmakers deep dive as we took a look at everything for this week. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Memorial's awesome. Get your free starter pack below as well. Lots of cards that we talked through. I said, I want to do this rare contest and build it out. God, 208 now for Scotty Scheffler for the rares. Oh boy, he's a good card to have been invested in this season, but hit that like button on the way out. I'm Eric Lindquist, y'all. I'll be back next week. Let's submit this lineup here after they check my location. Location. This is a fun way to finish the video. Didn't even submit. There it went. Hey, it's submitted. We're through. We're out of here, my friends. Until next week, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the PGA Tour Reignmaker streets on DraftKings this weekend.